Welcome everyone. Today we have another huge update for the DPS, the Summoner build. So looking behind me, I'm demonstrating a number of Uber boss runs and also boss runs that is in the endgame. Firstly, of course, let's look at some of the more simpler bosses. So this is the new whale boss. In case you guys haven't thought it is quite easy with the latest build. You can see the moment they came into the fight, they pretty much disappeared. And that was the case for all of them. So let's have a look. That was pretty quick, right? I'll fast forward a little bit. That was hilarious as I fast forward into the last one. And let's have a look. There's so many skeletons, and I've upgraded my damage even further to about 4 million raw DPS. And that is before any of the buffs and any other, anything else that is applied. So here we're going to briefly have a look at attacks with any of the Uber bosses with the highest difficulty. So over here with Arbiter, I actually mispositioned. My skeleton died initially, so it didn't do the highest burst. So let's have a look at when we have the right position against Arbiter. And that is the damage. That was the Arbiter. So fast forward a little bit, the next one is the Arbiter of Fire. Because you can have two different fragments, I was like, you know what, let's show all the bosses to you guys. So again, a little bit mispositioned, the skeletons got killed halfway, but let's have a look at when the Arbiter actually stays in one place and we have the hood set up. The build is amazing. Definitely one of the best Uber boss layers. I skipped pretty much all the mechanics. So this is Orth, the one that drops a potion, and this is the highest difficulty as well, as you can see. So first phase, we one-shotted him. Let's have a look at the second phase. So I have been trying to learn the mechanics, and I realized we do enough damage. We can ignore the mechanics. And here, this is the King of the Mist. Again, a little bit fuzzy with my fingers, and we didn't get the right setup. Then he disappeared into the mist, which is annoying. Then he's like running away. So we took him to second phase really quickly. What I want to show you guys is what happens at the second phase. So I ran around a little bit, came back to the boss. Second phase, again, this is the highest tier difficulty for the King of the Mist, just to show you guys the power of the latest update of the build, and it is pretty sizable. So 4 volleys to take him down, not bad, right? And finally, of course, you guys will be interested in terms of what about the actual mapping. So I think the best way to demonstrate mapping is seeing a bridge map, because there's not only mapping, there's also a tier 4 boss. So we're doing the highest level bridge, and you can see that our skeleton snipers a map wide radius coverage. They shoot across and they have so much reach. You don't even see them on the field, and they're already shooting across the field and killing everything in one shot. And if you have seen our previous video, this is an upgraded version compared to the previous guide. You can see that my mana has got lowered because I actually went fully glass cannon. I was like, who needs defense when the best defense is offense, right? My damage went to about 80,000 per skeleton, and we have about 50 skeletons. So 4 million raw DPS, and it is incredible in terms of mapping for a wider map, and also for a map that is like without all the corridors and little turns, it is even better. You can see the skeleton shooting across the road, across the room, and it is amazing. We have the potion tag that give us guard, so being a little glass cannon is not a big deal. I'll fast forward a little bit. I think you know the gist of the idea. The build applies a lot of spirit reservation reduction together with plus minion skills. My skeletons are level 40 with tons of spirit reservation. So on the previous video, if you haven't seen that is when we hit the jackpot of halving the cost of the skeleton snipers. So what I have done here is I went further. I was like, how far can I go to lower the spirit reservation of your summons? And guess what, guys? We went over addictively over 100%, multiplicatively over 50%. I'll explain soon. So as for the boss fight, we have adjustment. Multi-shot is great for mapping, but for boss fight, I'm putting out Heft. Heft gives us a lot of damage, and this can then scale much higher in damage. Now, you might notice my resolution is a little low. Because I have so many skeleton summons, it actually lags my FPS. So this is why our resolution is the lowest setting. And I just want to show you guys the Uber boss fights. And then we talk about the adjustments for the build. And there are some crucial changes I want to go with you guys step by step. Look at the curse radius. So, not the most broken meta build, but you can see we're good at everything. We can kill every uber boss in the game as demonstrated. We can do incredible mapping, and I'm working towards enough speed run version for tier 15 and also tier 16 for this particular build. So there's a lot of room to go through. And at the end of the video, guys, if you want to see my in-game stats, everything will be highlighted to show you guys the in-game stats, so you won't miss anything. So I had a lot of questions about what juice are you using, what are the passives, what are the key ones. Well, let's have a look. So I definitely need to turn this off. I think it's gonna lag my thing because I was doing some editing for you guys to prepare ahead of time. Now, where are we? So got my summons back. So you can see 49 skeletons. I'll show you guys the damage over here. And here we're gonna buff. This is the Wizard Pain offering. Sometimes the damage is a little tricky. So I'm gonna summon and resummon them. Sometimes it resets the damage. It used to be 80,000. We don't know what happened here. Maybe I'm not standing close to them. Or something is not right. But yeah, usually it was 8,000, and today they decided not to be 8,000. Yeah, there you go, 80,000. 80,000 damage per skeleton snipers, a little over 80,000, which brings us about 4 million raw DPS. Very, very sizable, and I will go through every bit of the changes with you guys. If you have seen the previous video, that is great. If you haven't, I strongly recommend watching the previous video, which I teach you guys how to get the breakpoint for those belts, because that was previously the biggest upgrade for me. And having those belts will greatly enhance the cost of your summons. So you can see each summon is costing me 11 spirit. So imagine this. This originally cost 26 spirit, now it costs 11 spirit. So I have went over 100 addictive reservation reduction and over about close to 60% multiplicative reservation reduction to get to this. So we talk about the juice socket that gave us 6%, we talk about the belt that gave us 26%, the boots was max roll to 37%, it wasn't cheap actually, cost me about 60 divines, one of the most expensive items I ever bought, but I want to hit a breakpoint. I'll explain why very soon. You do not have to buy those pants, not those boots. A 30% boost or 31, some percentage boost will be okay. I'll teach you guys how to find more reservation. So you have more reservation over here, 12%. Now the biggest reservation I found is I've crafted a new jewel. I actually made a mistake. I'll share with you guys if I get time in this video. I accidentally sold my old jewel for very cheap, so I mispriced it. And that was a 50 to 100 divine jewel. But this one's even better. After I made the mistake, I crafted this myself. So this one gives +8 to strength, plus 5% minion damage per notables, per small passives, and then this heightened shadow doesn't do anything. I didn't hit the right one. So what I got was the 8 strength and also minion damage. And this is not even the right base. Look at this. This is the ornament. I do not need this passive because I'm not shooting projectiles. So why is it so powerful, and how do we get stronger? Add those knots. So the knots I have selected give us spear reservation. Look at this knot, give us 1% spirit reservation per 20 tribute. Look at this knot, give us 3% attack speed and casting speed per 50 tribute for the minions. And this knot, give us another 1% spirit reservation per 20 tribute. And here we have stacking free dexterity. And over here we have recupera's mana, which is great for my mind over matter defensive build. So altogether, just with this above average, I won't say this is the perfect one. I missed out on the tribute percentage 20%, but just with those knots and also fully investing in those knots, notice that everywhere I went for +5 tribute, +5 tribute, 5% minion damage coming from the rolls, and then here we have even more tribute. Stacking tribute and also spirit reservation doubles up when you have multiples of the same knot in your build, and those spirit reservations can make the breakpoint once you have enough spirit reservation. Makes sense, right? So the breakpoint I had achieved was 11. It's a little harder to go for 11. I've unrespected a lot of my passive points. So you can see, I took those points over here, I took those points over here, took those points over here, even took some points out of here and some points around here. So the tree is minimized to a point that every point here hits a breakpoint for the spirit reservation breakpoint, so that I only cost 11 spirit per summon. And that is how I can maximize the DPS. This also gives me about 370% minion increase damage because of the small passives. The best part is this location also helps me to get other curses, and even this knot is also buffed with additional tribute, which is not bad, because this was the original knots over here. And yes, I will show you guys how I crafted those jewels, but stay tuned for the next 1 or 2 video, because there's a few videos I want to make. I want to teach you guys step by step how to craft those jewels for minimum cost, or how to buy them, because I have tested a lot of seed for you guys and a lot of different jewels at different reservation, different jewels. But it will take a good video to explain. I don't want to rush in this video, because this video will focus on the build. The next video, notice I write a lot of notes, will be coming to teach you how to find the jewels I found and how to get what I have for much cheaper the price. So in summary, the biggest change of this build compared to the previous version is I have taken out my jewel because I accidentally sold it, and then in replacement I've crafted an extremely good hyper glass cannon build simply because I'm stacking all the tribute to gain minion damage, attack speed, and also spirit reservation everywhere I went, so I fully invested in those knots. If I had higher level, only level 91, if I had higher level, I could go back to my attack speed, minion revive. I could get so much more damage over here as well. So definitely really good scaling for the late game, and you've seen the damage. Now, what I have also prepared, let's go through the build briefly, and then we go through the second part, briefly talking about those jewels. The dedicated video is coming. So, since we're at the passive tree, we have the reservation, we have Mind Over Matter. I can be running Energy Shield build because I have a really good knot over here that gives us 4% Energy Shield per turn tribute, and I have over 150 tribute, so that's 40% increased maximum Energy Shield. So I might go into Energy Shield. Currently running Mind Over Matter with increase in spirit percentage and some minion damage over here. And finally, I'm running a physical build, so many armor breaks, many have better attack speed, movement speed. I convert my Energy Shield into mana with more maximum mana. And finally, we have the Against the Darkness Jewel that provides us with 12 spirit. And this gives us about 72, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think this gives us 60 now because I needed more points to hit the breakpoint. If I unrespect one of those points, you can see that the spirit reservation will go to 12 instead of 11 for the snipers. So now that we talk about the passive, let's have a look at the skill links. A little bit changed the skill links. So Infernal Hound is the hound we're using. I have discovered, I guess not accidentally, but I've noticed something. The loyalty doesn't seem to be working if it is combined with the Brutus Brain. So that is unfortunate. I was making an immortal minion to take 10% of my damage, but it wasn't working. So I checked online, it seems like it doesn't work. So we have loyalty over here combined with mid shield 2. Together, this Infernal Hound is a utility hound that means it also blind and also calling strike the enemy. So it's a defensive tank that has utility. Everything else is the same with my fodder warriors. So it's Mustard, Infernal Legion, Essence Harvest, and also minion instability, so that they die quickly. Together with minion instability and also Essence Harvest, once they die, they give me free mana. Notice tons of mana regen. And I'm running Mind Over Matter, so mana is life. Now, what has changed? I have given Brutus Brain onto the Pain Offering, so now I'm running Prolonged Duration, Dance Macabre, Minion Mastery, Sacrificial Offering, and also Brutus Brain. So the ritual, the offering never dies. And I gave this one extra level, even took this to level 20, and I removed the efficiency, because I don't mind the mana cost. Because I have so much mana regen, right? If you look over here, we're sitting at like 200 mana regen. In terms of vulnerability, it is the same: Curse Ground, Area, Heightened Curse, and also Efficiency. Nothing has changed. The snipers are the same. So we have the Deathless Desire, we have Feeding Frenzy, Brutality for physical, Mustard because we have so many units, and then Heft for the boss, and Multi-Shot for mapping. And that's a very simple adjustment. So no major changes on the links, just a bit of swapping. Excuse me. And over here, no major changes on the gears. I think I've changed this helmet to have more cold and also resistance. So I'm sitting around close to 75. And I've been switching between the charms because the belt only have one charm slot socket. So if I'm fighting a boss with cold damage, I'll swap into the cold. If I'm fighting a boss that stuns, I go with a stun. And normally I just go with chaos resist because I'm a little short on chaos. Rest of the gears, I have min and max the gears a little bit. Please watch the last video, it is the same because once you have the build, you lose a lot of stats. And I found the stats coming from the rings, as you can see over here, coming from the chest piece, the helmet, and finally the gloves. Everything else is kind of unique and hard to swap. So this one gives me spirit and also minion rank. This gives us 6 minion rank, and together with a very nice scepter with 90 plus spirit. This cost me about 18 divine. It was a bargain. Now it's selling for about 40 divine. I bought it yesterday actually, so that was a really good find. And finally the boots are the most expensive one. So now we talk about everything, let's spend briefly talking about the breakpoint. I want to show you guys over here. So I'm gonna refine the point, spend some gold. So I'm gonna refine this point. I have a lot of gold. I've been buying gold to test a lot of things and also do trading. Mostly it's the respec build. So notice I respec this point. And let's see how many snipers I can now summon. So I was on 49 before, right? So I'm 44. Look at this. So I respect 1 point, 1 passive point, and I lost 5 skeleton snipers. Why is that? It's because now the snipers now cost 12 per summon. So say 21 to 9, it costs 12. So once you hit your breakpoint, which is very hard to count the tribute, I was trying to count the tribute, but I realized instead of counting the tributes, you just look at the cost of your minions as you summon them. And once you hit the breakpoint, notice that suddenly I can summon 5 more. So this is the biggest take of those jewels, and it's incredibly easy to find them. And it is not well spoken in the minion department. Most of the players haven't looked into this, and most of the players don't want to spend a lot of divines in buying those jewels. And I have been, I guess, pioneer or adventuring with over 100 divines just to check for us. So look at this, I've been calculating, I've been checking, I've been doing a lot of numbers, even recording the seed for us. I'll have the seed for you guys in a note. So I am working on this guide. I'm working on the currency making guide too. So I'm working on too many guides. So I'm working on the, where's my guide? Which one did I look? Is it this one? Yes, it's this one. So I'm working on this guide to update the new method I have been testing. Seems to be working. You saw my Jew, right? So I'm working on writing this one work in progress. It will take me a day or two to write it, then make the video. So if you haven't seen how we crafted the previous best in stock timeless Jew that I used myself as well, make sure you watch this video. I've actually sold the 80 divine Jew for 54 divine. And so, brief summary. How do I do this? Let's see. So if you have seen the first method teaches you how to have a timing window each step of the way to sell those jewels. And after the video, it's harder to get cheaper base and sell for tech roll, so a lot of the profits are gone. But the method works if you're rolling into your class and also your jewel. But what the method doesn't do is it doesn't provide you with the right notes. So what I mean by the right notes is are the spirit reservation ones we're looking for, and also the bonus for the minion damage, and also even for the tribute percentage. How do you want to do this? In a short summary, so this is a very dumb way. We don't have a Jew calculator at the moment for PoE2. So I am searching the market, searching for any of the timeless Jews, buying the cheapest and recording down the seed. What I mean by the seed is, so this is a very in-depth thing in Path of Exile 1 and comes into Path of Exile 2. So not only the Jews have a base, which is a Kagro base, right? You also have a seed. So if I put this Jew in to show you guys, if I put this in, so the base over here, Kagro, gives me the mana region that I wanted to overflow mana, which is great for my build. I haven't packed into this point, so you don't see the mana overflowing. And followed by that, the seed will determine randomly what are the knots that is available. So what my friend Roy told me is, the base is good, but the most important part about the juice is actually the seed. So the seed of this one, which is 23562. So if you look at this seed, 23562, where did we go? Actually, this is a rolled one. I'll explain very soon. So I've recorded all the seeds, and whenever I go and also buy those juice for minimal price, right? I will buy them socket them into the place I want to socket them, because this is the only place I can socket. Here I'm having my darkness, and here I don't want to invest over here. So I want to socket here, which is easy check. I will check every node just to show you guys. Show you. And that's what I did exactly. Oh, this is my recording here. Maybe this one. Oh, not this one. This one, yes. So this is exactly what I did. I would go and search for those jewels. And you can see over here, I'm searching for those jewels. And then look into what is the cheapest one. Now, keep in mind, you don't want it to be corrupted. So go into miscellaneous, filter out no corrupted, and then buying the cheapest. This one is about 279 Exalt, and it's right over here. After buying this, I would then come over to my hideout just to be safe, and then I will socket this jewel. So firstly, before I even socket it, I'll go to my notepad and write down the new jewel I bought. So the new jewel I bought is 2137. This is something I want to do for you guys. So I'm going to socket it in, and now I'm going to check every node and check in to see if there's node I wanted. So if I see a mini attack, which is good, I'm looking for spirit percent. And you check around, this jewel actually have nothing. I'll have this recording to show you guys the full step. So if it has nothing, notice I check this is actually the not good one. If it has nothing, I then list it for the same price I bought it. And just to show you guys over here, after relisting it, I think it just got sold as I was making the video. See, this just got sold. Where are we? A lot of sales. So here, the same one I bought it for, I actually made a profit. I bought it for 279. The average price is 300 Exalt. I even made a profit. So I'm buying jewels to check them, recording down. If it's good, I'll keep it. If it's bad, I'll resell it for a market value. And I repeat the process. And I have done this for over 20-30 jewels. And you can see I've recorded a lot of seed. In the past, I didn't do this. What are we looking for? It's some very special seed that naturally comes with minion attack, reservation, and also mob spirit reservation. You might be surprised. A lot of those jewels will come with 2 times spirit reservation, and then even give minion attack speed, and then 22% tribute. That was a really good jewel. And then this one gives 3 times spirit reservation and 1 minion attack speed, but it didn't have tribute. So what happened to those jewels? The next thing, I got a little greedy. So what I should have done is, instead of using those jewels, instead of crafting those jewels, I should have kept them. I should have done this. So remember in the previous video, in the guide, I was trying to make them into 4 mod. So notice this jewel over here. After finding the right seed and filtering out the best ones that's for your build, I would then go ahead and also then search for the mods I wanted, record this down, and then I will start crafting those with those 2 items. So the preserved creaming allows you to add the desecrated modifiers onto the juice, but there's a chance of breaking it after the first go. So on the second, the third, and also 4th modifier, the chance of breaking increases. I'm also using Abyss Echoes to reroll the modifiers. Just to show you guys over here, this is what happened. A lot of the good ones, I tried to add multiple modifiers. I got greedy, and I tried to add 4 modifiers and ended up stopping at 3. A few of them survived to 3, right? But guess what? I went silly. I popped all of them. So yes, it's a disaster, guys. Don't do what I did. So after breaking a lot of the good ones, which I could have sold to you guys, give it away, I wasted about 10-20 divines. Don't do what I did over here. So after popping them, I decided to get a little sad, and eventually I did make one. So this is how I made the 4 modifiers, but I don't recommend doing that. What I did later on is I just kept the jewel at 3 modifiers instead of going to 4. And you kind of want the 2 long techs if you can. So this is how this jewel, after the failed crafting of breaking the other good ones, this one survived to 3, and I did not go to 4 modifiers. And finally, so I'll show you guys over here. A full guide will be coming. I just want to show you guys the process because I'm quite excited. So make sure you activate the echo and then you go through it. I'll teach you guys what is the best choice to pick for modifiers as well, because you kind of want tribute. After tribute, you want to look for minion damage and also good stuff. So over here, you see I'm going to reroll, and here I found mana regen. It's not bad, but not great. But you can see the energy shield is actually incredible. If we got the energy shield, it'd be very good for energy shield build, but I went for the region. So just to show you guys over here. And then I think this one is the one I crafted here. So you can see over here, I'm crafting, I'm looking, I even record this down. And here, Kingslayer, I don't need that. So it didn't give me the right modifiers I wanted. And it would take some time for full guide, so I just want to show you what happened, how this was crafted. Finally, one of the ways I have discovered to get the jewel into some good knots is actually rendering with divine orbs, but that is to be tested. How I come across this jewel is a reverse process that I first made it to 3 modifiers, then I try to divine this one into the right base. And while divining the right base, I was checking each time if I put this in the socket, if there's anything major notable. And while I divine this, remember when you divine this, this will change the seed and also the base. 1 in 5 to hit the right base, and seed gets rendered. Once seed gets rendered, every time I divine this jewel, I will check if it hits the right one. Just happens on the wrong base, it hit the right seed. So I kept this one. I don't care about the base anymore. I want the seed. So this is how I got the seed. I do apologize, it was not the best guide to jump into this unprepared. I wanted to share the build, but I also want to share you guys how I got the jewel so you can get started. I don't want to bait you guys in on the jewel. How much did I spend on the jewel? Around 50 to 100 divine. I made about 50 to 100 divine back selling some of the jewels. So not broke, but it's not profitable because I'm breaking them. But you got to know the gist. So stay tuned for the next 1 or 2 days. I'll be working on a guide to teach you guys exactly how to craft the jewels, timeless jewel, no, hated timeless jewel you wanted. And that guide will be much better constructed with proper written notes and also step-by-step guide. Now, before I finish, both of the replay recordings that I spoke earlier, the demonstration of the fights will be available at the end of the video. Feel free to have a look. All the Uber bosses at the highest level of difficulty, and here you can see all the stats of the current build. It has gotten a little squishier because I couldn't find the right base, and I don't dare to change this base anymore, because if I divine this, all the other nodes will have a chance of changing, and you do not want that. So finding the right nodes is so important to hit massive damage with Spirit Reservation, and bonus minion damage is a bonus. Let me know what you guys think about this, and I think this is a great discovery we can share around in the Summoners community, and you can start looking into the jewels. And once the guide on the jewels comes out, you can start crafting for even better jewels. So thank you for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Now, hopefully you guys found today's video helpful. Again, a big thank you to everyone on YouTube, especially our supporters, and also those of you guys who's been supporting me on Patreon as well. And we do have a new feature on the Majestic YouTube channel. If you click onto this, you can become a member. Yes, I've added this just recently, and this will allow you to have early access to videos that is posted a few hours or even half a day earlier if you want to watch those videos a little early. But yes, this will cost money. So please be aware the membership will cost money. And if you do want to watch videos normally, those videos will still be available after 6 to 12 hours, normally on the time we post those videos. And I'll be aiming to post at least 1 Path of Exile video a day, and this will be including guides, tips, news update, and also the latest tricks that is discovered on both the English and also Chinese community to keep you guys updated. And if you like those videos, make sure you leave a nice comment and also leave a like for those videos.
It's done. I'll sort it. Yes? Yes? Seems like a good deal.
Lend me your hatred, God. Living death, real to embrace, even I. Lend me your hatred, God. Your duty, go to embrace, even I. Once more, tether your soul to me. This world shall be ours. You exhaust my vessel for now. Ready burns for your world. Your affliction upon her will soon be erased. The mother soul already burns for your world. Your affliction upon her will soon be erased. The mother's... I am the doom at the door. Starfire. One thorn grip. Bid the darkness. Thorn grip. Achrik armach.
Now! A cute trick, but a stall at best.
Ata ore with mach. The Wildwood's power is mine. So long as you know me,
None can oppose me. Obey me! good find.
We that dreamed, we in nightmare, we that are one. The fury of the hive, our flesh, we that fail.
Now, before we finish, if you guys haven't subscribed, this is a really good time to do so because I'll be looking into the latest Path of Exile 2 news on different communities and also on the official forum, official webpage. I'll also be looking into the best build for each of the class as the meta develops with the Chinese and also the English community. So stay tuned for the latest update and also guides for Path of Exile 2. And of course, this is gonna be a big month for us. And I'll try to bring you guys all of the latest content and also guides for Path of Exile 2 to come.